now is someone very familiar with Biden's border crisis. Republican Congresswoman from New Mexico, Yvette Herrell. Her district includes Sunland Park of New Mexico. Congresswoman, welcome to the program. It's good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So 17,000 people is not a lot of people. They could be quickly overrun. What is the situation on the ground now for them and other cities on the border in New Mexico?
Yeah, this is what we've been talking about for the last number of weeks and months, just the open border. And what I fear and what now we're starting to really understand is because Texas is taking great strides to protect their border, Arizona is doing the same thing. And unfortunately, our governor, just like our president, does not take the threat to the American citizens very serious at all. And she will not put the National Guard down. We've asked her 3 times to deploy the National Guard troops to the New Mexico border. But now what we've got is a situation where I feel it will continue to get worse and worse because now they found a place, a safe haven, if you will, where they can make this a second ground zero and start coming through our borders because it is so very porous.
You know, Congresswoman, we had on the other night Chief Rodney Scott. He was 29 years in Border Patrol, basically forced out of the job. He warned the administration of what would happen if they followed through with the Biden policies. I want you to listen to what he said because it reminded me of an interview I did with you, heck, almost a year ago when Joe Biden was sworn in once he stopped construction of the wall. Take a listen to what he said, and then let's talk about this on the backside.
Right now, we have over just DHS funding alone in congressionally appropriated dollars. We have over 100 miles of border wall steel that's already been paid for. That's just going to get scrapped because of these contracts being shut down.
Well, in the New Mexico desert, we had video that we showed you back then of these bollards of steel, just piles of them. There are some pictures they're paid for, but nothing will happen with them, Congresswoman.
No, it's a shame that all that material sitting there when we could have easily finished the wall, which in the article that was out just recently, the residents of Sunland Park want the border wall finished. And it's not just the barrier, it was the sophisticated technology that came with it. With this border wall would have come more sensors. It would have given the Border Patrol more tools so that they could do a better job. And now, like you and I've talked before, we're pulling so many of the Border Patrol agents off the border so that they can do processing. And again, we have not taken this seriously as a nation. It did not have to be that way. And I think right now, Kamala Harris ought to come back to New Mexico, back to El Paso, Texas, and see the disaster that she's actually created. Yeah.
I'd love to see the president show up there too. You know, I'm about done with Kamala Harris as border czar. She's a zero. That's in my opinion. The president needs to show up. I don't think that's going to happen.
He does.
He should, and maybe he won't, Congresswoman, because I'm seeing in Texas, where I broadcast from, there are a lot of Democrats that are upset with this now. Are you seeing the same situation in New Mexico?
Absolutely. This is not a partisan issue. This is a people issue. These are folks that are concerned about where they live, where they work, living out on these ranches, living in these communities of 17,000 and smaller. They're now fearful. And like I've said before, every state is a border state. But when you're living on the front lines and seeing the people come across, you're seeing property damage, you're seeing damage to livelihoods, there has got to be action taken. And unfortunately, this administration will not look at this as a serious issue. And now the Border Patrol agents are reaching out, you know, putting documents out there, helping, you know, asking for help, wanting people to understand the seriousness of this issue that we have going on. And we're losing our border because this president refuses to take our border crisis seriously.
I think it's fair to say no one's more frustrated than the Border Patrol agents themselves about their inability to do something that they want to do with this stand-down order that the president has given them. Congresswoman Yvette Herrell, thank you so much. Always good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too. Thank you.
All right, absolutely.